Hey, it's Kratu Orloff, September 2020. I think I'm starting to see a light in the tunnel on my project to sort and organize the comic collection. At least I'm making a little bit of progress. As I'm going through comics, I'm pulling out things here and there that are kind of interesting to me and maybe interesting to you. Um, Here's a copy of Rip Hunter Time Master. Still 10 cents. Comics changed over to 12 cents about 1961, I think. So, I love this cover. But, you could always win a beautiful new photo ring with a compartment for your favorite picture. From the Wilson Chemical Company. I love looking through old comics, and my first major in college was advertising, so I love to look at the advertisements. Is one thing I love. Look at the graphics there. Everybody's looking for the new Tootsie Roll ice cream bar. Never even heard of that. I have that Batman annual somewhere. Lots of Tootsie Roll ads, and always a lot of ads for Palisades Amusement Park in New Jersey in these DC comics. There's a really great song, Palisades Park, that I'm sure you're familiar with. Ah, yes. You can get a Frontier cabin big enough for 2 to 3 kids. There's Billy. Or you can restage the Revolutionary War. That's always fun. Let's see, here's another copy of Rip Hunter. This is number 28. The other one was number 3, by the way. For those of you that would like to obtain copies of these. Of course, you can subscribe to 10 issues of Rip Hunter for only $1. You can get a Mets wristwatch. What's all the hullabaloo about? It's for the sensational comeback of 2 of the greatest superstars in DC's history, Starman and Black Canary. Man, you probably don't believe me, but this Stargirl TV show that's on the air right now, they finished the first season, is amazing. I mean, really, it's really good. It's not one of these social justice warrior fests like the other stuff on CW. It's not like a CW show at all. It's really, really well done. At least in my opinion. You may disagree. Join the fun with G.I. Joe. Yes, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Fighting man from head to toe. On the land, on the sea, in the air. Yes, that's when G.I. Joe first came out. Yeah, I still have my first G.I. Joe. Let me zoom in on it. The screen looks kind of washed out. Here's a copy of Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. They always had these great painted covers on these Gold Key comics. And then the art inside was not quite as good. I mean, it's not terrible, but to me it's very pedestrian compared to this painted art that looked like, a pulp magazine. If the art inside these Gold Key comics could only match what's on the cover, sometimes it did, like in Magnus Robot Fighter or the Tarzan comics. Here's the Human Torch. Yeah, he had his own comic there for a little bit when I was like in 4th grade. You'll be a master of self-defense once you've completed our revolutionary new audiovisual home study course in dynamic kung fu and karate. I think you can get some footage on YouTube of this comic convention. If you look for it, I'm pretty sure there's some existing. Yeah, but you see, it's clearly not 1970s art. It's Golden Age reprints. Damn, look at that mouth. Which is great, you know. You can't complain about Golden Age reprints. Look at that. Yeah. And then this is reprints from the early 60s from Strange Tales. So it's all reprints. It's a Strange Tales story and a Golden Age story. And the comic only lasted, I don't know, 6-7 issues. Unfortunately. Let's see, what else do we have here? Brave and the Bold, number 55. Metalmen and the Atom. Always loved Metalmen. Got a spine roll. Here's the Revolutionary War again. Only $1.98, which was a lot of money back then. But trust me, what you got did not look like this. Usually they were little tiny soldiers, and sometimes they were just completely flat soldiers. Oh yeah, 100 toy soldiers for $1.25 in this Foot Locker, or you can get 132 Roman soldiers for $1.98. The cool thing about these iPhones is you can zoom way in on the art, then watch it on a big high-definition TV and see all kinds of detail that you never saw as a kid. And here are the prizes you can win over here. Okay, well, let's see what the Metalmen and the Atom are up to. Again, I have not mastered getting the artwork, the light perfect in this room for these presentations. I'm still mastering my craft here on YouTube. I just gained another subscriber. I'm up to 66 subscribers, so that's kind of cool. Here's a Service Merchandise catalog. $78.79. I have lots of old catalogs. If you are interested, I could pull them down off the shelf, and we could go through them. You know, stuff from the 60s and everything. Let me know in a comment below. And if you like this channel, I also have an Instagram. You could search for Gratu Orloff. I know Charlton66 is subscribed, and he's always liking my stuff, and I appreciate that. Ooh, isn't that cool to have the TV on that stand? Yeah, oh shit. Here's the old Atari. And this thing, I don't remember many people having that, but everybody seemed to have that back in the day. The day. I never thought I'd say the day. Is that kid picking his nose? No. Okay, here's the stereo equipment. But being $78.79, there's probably Star Wars stuff for those of you that collect that stuff. Where are the toys? Let's see. Yeah, there are people that collect these old catalogs. And I get them when I find them at a decent price. Come on. Service Merchandise. Oh, well, the toys. Well, you saw the toys. They're in the back. I already went through them. Somewhere in there's a Star Wars spread. Let's see what we can find. Oh, there we go. Isn't that exciting? Okay, there's the... Yes, indeed. Mego. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Service merchandise. Put that aside. You know, I did a video about a week ago as a response um, to Captain Strangelove. He did a Men's Adventure magazine retrospective last Friday night, and I did kind of an answer video the next day. And now I've uncovered a bunch of detective and men's adventure magazines that I didn't show you in the last video. That one's from 1985, so that's not that interesting. And these are ones I picked up off the stands. I guess I just thought that the headlines were funny. But here's a real men's adventure magazine. Real men. The man they couldn't kill. Real men. Let's see what we can find out. How to love and be loved. Lingerie ads. How to be popular. Rings, jewelry you can get. Toting extra pounds, yes. Back falling apart, yes. Maybe that's what I need. Or an exploding army hand grenade. When I did that last video, if you watched it, I told a story wrong. I remember my late father told me a story about when he was a little kid, like during World War II, when he was in Catholic school, a story about the nuns, and I told you the story about the nun that picked up a real hand grenade from one of the students who was playing with it under the desk, and threw it in her drawer, and then but it didn't explode. But the other story I didn't tell right. I thought about it later. Stuffed girls' heads, only $2.98. Blondes, redheads, and brunettes for every man to boast of his conquest. I'm not going to read all that. You can freeze frame and read it. Anyway, the other story. This nun saw a kid playing with something under the desk, so it was a rubber snake, obviously. So she took it, and the nuns in the big black outfits that they wear, they have a big pocket in the front or on the side or somewhere. So she threw these rubber snakes into her, whatever you call what a nun wears. And then later, apparently they were live snakes. I mean, they were like alive. And so they, the kids in the class knew it was a live snake, and so they were all kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? At some point, she reaches in her pocket and feels it wiggling around, I guess. And she took it out and threw it against the wall. And I don't know if it killed the snake, but that was the proper version of the story. I just told you. The way I told you was inaccurate. Women and crime. I murdered Charles. I got him drunk. We made love. I slipped a clothesline around his neck, pulled and pulled, kissed his dead cold lips, dismembered his body, wrapped him in cheerful Christmas paper. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. This looks a little bit later period. Nudist magazines, where you can get 1 1/4 acres in Nevada. They used to have ads where they'd sell you land in Texas, and it was 1 inch of land, 1 square inch. Showdown. I think they expected that if you're reading this kind of magazine, you were the type man that should fix radios and televisions. That was your destiny. So all the ads, and Captain Strangelove was pointing out that this dinosaur ad was in the comic books as well. This is for some of the perverted gentlemen that graduated from comic books, crime comics. They went on and read these. Here's an older one, Underworld Detective. Man, is he putting out a cigarette on this girl? She's taking it pretty well. She just looks a little pissed off, but does not look like she's in pain. Maybe she has superpowers. Yep. That was a good ad. I gotta go back to that. Hormones. Yeah, I'm just skipping these great ads and not letting you see them. You are under arrest. So, I also figure you have eczema if you're reading these magazines. You're probably the type person that has eczema and a hernia and need to lift weights. That is the assumption that seems to be made by the publishers of these magazines. And this one, oh, I always love this ad. Oh, I love this ad. This one is from 1949. Now this one isn't Men's Adventure. This is just a straight girly magazine. But it's pinup stuff. This is kind of like Betty Page kind of stuff. It's not going to have any nudity. It's just going to be cheesecake. This is a cheesecake magazine. That's what they call them. But considered a dirty magazine at the time. Here's Titter. Looks a little bit like Carolyn Jones, but it is not. But you can be an all-around He-Man fast. I think I need to clean the lens on this this camera phone because it looks a little cloudy. Here's Confidential Detective. Some of these I've got in Mylar. I've got a that's part of my project. I'm making sure everything's bagged and boarded. Startling Detective. Stop your rupture worries. Yeah, they figure you've got some kind of rupture if you're reading these magazines. Chesterfield, they satisfy. Beautiful ad. Beautiful ad. All right, what do we got here? Sensation. Yeah, I don't know what these magazines sell for these days. I was buying them up like crazy at a certain point in my collecting career. And they used to be pretty prominent at comic book conventions. Haven't been to a comic convention in a while, and of course now with the Karachi virus going around, I don't think they've had any. Oh God. Let's see, what else we got? Here's a copy of, this is how Warren was kind of ruined by Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica. They tried to cash in on it. Galactica, all about it. Galactic Wars and comics. And so what they do is they publish some reprints from Creepy, Eerie that are science fiction oriented and try to sell it to Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica people. And lots of ads in the back for Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica paraphernalia. And, you know, the whole horror element's kind of lost. Oh, and they have some articles probably reprinted, yeah, right from Famous Monsters in here too, or maybe made for this issue. But the artwork's good because it's reprints. So not sure if that's worth anything to anybody. Doubt it. I'm sure there's some other fascinating stuff. What's in this box? No, that's not, you don't want to see that. Let's see. I guess let me clean this lens off. I'll come back when I find some more amazing finds. Take care.